So this is the main screen. I kind of call it the home page. When you're looking in the handbook, when I say view the home page in there, that's what I'm referring to this screen. So when you're tooling around in here, there's just some things to look at and realize I'll just go over where everything is and how you can navigate. But what we have here is at the top of the screen, in the top right, we have these buttons. So no matter where you go, you can always come back to the home screen by clicking on this home button, and it's going to take you back to this screen that we're looking at right now. We also have the previous button, which seems obvious, but that'll obviously, if I tool around to another screen and I just want to go back to the previous screen, I can click on this one. This collapse, I can't show it now because I don't have a lot of stuff on here, but if you get like a big page that's like very there's a lot of stuff on it, you can collapse it and then it'll like pull in all those it'll collapse the panels on the screen to make it easier for you guys to view stuff. And so once you do that, you can also just expand it again. And then we have our little menu here. And so we got everything. You can like reset it. You can log off if needed. And when I say reset, that just means like refresh the screen and so forth. Everything's gonna be the same between this internal one and the external one. The only thing that's different is that internal users have this feature where they get to switch between contacts. So if one organization calls up and they're working with them and viewing what they're seeing, they can switch easily between different contacts if another contact calls in. So that's the only thing that's different between the external and the internal. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is this, we call it the hamburger menu or main menu. If you click on that, it's just everything in the ESS, and this is where you can go. You know, I should also point out at this point, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed as employers or my role right now, I've given myself every single role. And when I create an organization contact, I'll talk about that as well when I talk about roles some more. But right now, I have like every role possible. So I'm able to see everything right now. So this menu is looking pretty long, but um, depending on what your role is, you'll be able to only like view stuff dependent on the role. You might not even see some of this. Like if you're just doing finance, you might not be able to see employees or something. I'm just saying that off the top of my head, but don't quote me on that. So it's just kind of dependent on your role, what you can view, what you're able to create. You might be able to view and read something, but you might not be able to create a new record because you don't have the authority to do that, or security, I should say. So I just wanted to kind of point that out before I kept going further, because I know like sometimes people see this long list and they're like, but don't worry. It'll be more specific to your actual role. So, and I will come back to this menu and go through it because this is how I'll be navigating when I start doing other stuff in the system. But then the next thing I want to kind of talk about is this main thing here on the home screen is that we have all these different panels. You might hear them referred to as dashlets. I might call them sections, whatever you want to call them. But we have different little ones. So I'll go through each one. So we have the first one here is invoices. So what this is showing, and just bear with me, I didn't put a due date for this invoice. So it's the data in here is me, so don't get hung up on that. I'm the one creating it and I just go willy-nilly sometimes. But with that, you have these invoices, so you can see what open invoices the employer has that they need to pay to TFFR. So this one is a miscellaneous one. And if you notice, when I hover over it, it's a hyperlink. So if I were to click on it, it would take me straight to that invoice, open up that record, and I would be able to view it and pay it if needed. Otherwise, I can just view the information. I can see what kind of subtype it is, the balance, the due date, and the days left. So the next thing, I don't have anything here, but right now this is the to-do list. So what this would if I had some open action items as the employer, this is where I would view this. It would be something like, you have an employer payroll report that's due, you would see that, or you need to, I'm trying to think of another example, but it's like basically think of it as like the action items that you need to do. It's your to-do list. So you can come in here and view those things that are ready, like, okay, I got to get on that. That's what I need to do. So that would be visible here. The next one is message and opportunities. So what we have here are these are message notifications that are sent out by TFFR. Basically, they can create and specific they can create messages and notifications and specify it to the type of organization contact, the type of employer, and just send it out. So it can be just like informations like oh, I'm trying to think right now. Like it's just a mass one, like, oh, this action item is needed. Like you need to, um, uh, like you, I'm trying to think of something that would be needed to do, like maybe a yearly thing that you guys need to do, like the employer model election. I know that gets sent out as a email, but you could also have a notification here. So any of that you could see, it's going to show the ones that are new and unread here. I'm also going to show you how you can go and view them. But if you click on this, it'll take you to the message notification page and you'll be able to view that. The next one we have over here are the employer payroll reports. So I don't have any records, but I'll be uploading stuff later. But this is where if you had any, ones that were in progress, you could view that here and see, okay, I have an open payroll report that I need to finish or do. That information would be here. I'm going to go here and then I'll come back to my service requests. So with the I want to panel, the way I think of these are tiles here, and when I hover over them, basically I can click these tiles and it's going to take me to that page. So I think of these as quick links, so like if I just want to come in here and I need to report the employer payroll, I need to do that. You can click here and open up. It'll take you to the employer report summary screen. You can also, if you need to upload like an enrollment file or an employee payroll file, you could click here and it'll take you there so you can upload that file. Same with like creating an enrollment. Now, I also want to preface this with, depending on your role, the different tiles will be visible based on your organization contact role. So you might not see, like if you have an HR, you might just see the create enrollment, but you might not see the, submit a payment invoice stuff. So, okay. And then the last one on here is the my service requests. So this is basically a way for you guys to view what TFFR is doing. So when you guys do stuff, like when I was talking about the mothership and you guys communicating with them, this is a way for you guys to view that. So like a lot of times when you do something, it sets off work for TFFR. So like in this case, we see here we have the process employer payroll header. So that means that you guys submitted a payroll header and then TFFR, it set off a workflow for them. And basically, they got to work and they pulled up their basket and they're like, oh, I have this ready for me. And so they can start working on it. So that's what this means. You can see here the status is in progress. So this is a way for you to view, like, okay, this was sent out on the 27th. They're still working on it. There's a lot of different ones, a lot of different actions that you guys will do that will set off stuff for TFFR and for them to get their work. So that's where you can view that. I haven't clicked on that. That page is under construction still. Okay. But that's where you can view that information. Now, when I clicked on that, it took me to a page that's under construction, but the idea there is I believe you'll be able to view more information and drill down deeper on that, but it'll just be read only. So Let's see here. The next thing I want to show you. So that's the home screen. Before I move off of that, is there any questions? Okay. So the next thing, if no one has any questions at this time, the next thing I'm going to show is I'm going to go to the dashboard. And I'm just going to show that really quickly. And the reason for that is, so sorry, I should tell you how you get to the dashboard. So up in the hamburger menu, if under the home uh, section, you have dashboard. So if you click that, it takes you to this screen. And so this is just another way for you guys, if you prefer the dashboard screen as opposed to the home screen, this is just another way for you guys to tool around the ESS. So as you can see, it's basically just like that quick links section where you just have the different tiles and you can just go straight there by clicking on the tile. So as you can see, I have the employer payroll reporting, invoices, upload files, payments, and so forth. So this is just a way for you guys to, another way for you guys to work in the ESS. And to me, there's many different ways to get to the same spot. And I like to show people those ways. So, because I know everyone is different, whatever works easier for them and whichever they like, I want to show you guys how that works. So,